In this demonstration, I'm going to be using the classic brick king red 1000 grit stone, an Asagi from Ozaki mine, and the famous 30,000 grit Shapton. First, I'm going to bevel set this blade. It's a Swedish blade on this king, and I'm going to make the diagonal strokes this direction. I'm going to be doing the Asagi scratches this direction, and the Shapton will be going from this direction. Okay, let me rinse off that blade and wipe it clean. We'll swing over to the microscope. Put the blade in position there. And then swing it, roll it into... Okay, here's the blade. I just have to bring it into focus. So this is what the scratch pattern looks like from the king, and I've created a divot on this blade right there. I used another blade and just punched a little nick in the edge. So this is our reference point. So here's the 1000 grit scratch pattern at our reference point. I'm going to take a photo of it. This is photo number 760. Okay, pull the blade back out over to the sharpening bench. Get the king out of the way. Back in the bucket. Here's our Ozaki. I have a worn out diamond Atma plate. This is probably acting as a 1000 or 1200 grit. It's an old plate that I've had. This is a really fine stone. The Ozaki mine was closed somewhere in the 1920s or maybe a little earlier. Okay, so we have a creamy slurry here. I'm going to make 5 strokes on this stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a short stone. It's only about 6 inches long. Wipe it off well. Back over to the microscope. I'm holding the camera in one hand and trying to manipulate the microscope in the other hand. Okay, roll that into position here. Focus. Okay, I'm going to be looking for my reference point here now. You can see the scratches are pretty much all gone on this blade, although there are shadows of the deeper scratch. Okay, there's our reference point. Roll past this just a little bit. Okay, so luckily we have a couple scratches left here from the king. There's 3 there. That one, I don't know where that's from, but anyhow. And there's a nice deep scratch right here by the divot. So let's remember those. And I'm going to take a photo. Okay, so this was with 5 strokes passes on the Asagi. Only 5. I'm going to do 10 more. 5 more, which will make a total of 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rinse off the blade. Wipe it off good. Back over to the microscope.
We have another big night out coming up January 21st at the San Jose Civic. Enter to win tickets to see crossover violinist David Garrett. I think you'd really enjoy this one. Enter to win your tickets online at kdfc.com.
Okay, we want to find our divot. There we go. Okay, if you can remember what those scratches look like here from the 1000 Grit King, there's still a slight shadow of those scratches. Okay, so I'm going to take a photo of this for the record. I'll go in focus, out of focus, in focus, and then out of focus the other direction. You can see there's no other scratches there anywhere. Okay, let me take a photo of that. Okay, so that was with 10 passes on the Asagi. Now, oops. Now I'm going to take this Asagi out of the way, and I'm going to bring in the Shapton, and with this I'm going to do, to begin with, let me put a little water on that, just one pass with the Shapton. And remember, we did the king this direction, the Asagi that way. Now I'm going to use the Shapton with a diagonal stroke, and this is going to be just one pattern, one scratch pattern, or one pass on the Shapton. Okay, bring the camera over to the microscope again. Wheel it into position. See if we can find our divot here. There we are. Okay, so what did the Shapton do? Well, it began removing all the Asagi, little bits, the Kasumi hazy pattern, the blades brightening up just with one pass from the Shapton. I'll go in focus, out of focus, out of focus. Okay, and we'll take a photo of that. So that's with one pass of the Shapton. Okay, pull the blade out. Set up the camera. Okay, now I'm going to do 5 more passes on the Shapton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are not heavy weight. I'm not forcing the blade. I don't need to on this stone. It's so fast to begin with. Okay. Back to the microscope. Put the blade in position. Okay, we have a total of 6 passes on the Shapton now. Let's locate our divot. There it is. Okay, here again, the king scratches are still there. The blade's brightening up. The Shapton is working a little bit, but they're not the fastest cutting stones in the world. Okay, but what I'm going to do, we have 6 passes on the Shapton right now. Just for sake of argument here, to take it to the max. I'm going to put 20 strokes on the blade from the Shapton. That's 20. Let's go back to the microscope. See what we ended up with. Okay. There we are. Okay, so those deep 1000 grit king, they were probably like 500 grit scratches. There's a couple left there. The blade is totally brightened up. The Kasumi finish is gone. There's just this is starting to look more like what a Shapton will do. You can see scratches from the Shapton running this direction too. They have rogue grit also. The king has rogue grit. The Asagi has rogue grit. Everything has rogue grit. But if you go back to our original photo, which was number 760, here it is right here. That's what we start out with. And then, with just 10 passes on the Asagi, we ended up with all those 1000 grit scratches were gone. With just 10 passes on the Asagi. And then we went all the way to the 30,000 grit Shapton. So there were no hidden scratches underneath that Kasumi finish. That was the king. These were the Asagi. That was 5 strokes. This was 10 strokes with the Asagi. And 10 strokes, 99% of the king scratches were removed. Here we go back to the, here's 100% of the king scratches. And here is 99% of the king scratches gone. End of video.